So now I'm out of school. I've got no friends. And I come across this thing called the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I went to it. I loved horror movies, and I saw something different about this movie and heard all the buzz about it, so I went and got sucked into it. It's a very twisted, perverted movie, and I met several people there who now is kind of like the island of misfit toys, if you will. All these people who really didn't fit in with the norm, who were outcasts from school or not accepted by their peers. They all found each other, and we met at this thing called the Rocky Horror Picture Show, where we all just celebrated our diversity and reveled in our actual wickedness. And I met a girl named Karen there, and she became my best friend. We were very, very good friends. And I ended up getting a job at Chuck E. Cheese, and so did she. And there was a guy there by the name of Tony who we were both attracted to, and we were friends. We were both friends with him, and he happened to be bisexual. And a little competition started, and I won the affections of Tony. And Karen, in her anger, went to my parents and informed them one day when I was not home that I was gay. I came home to find my mother laying on the living room floor crying, not knowing what happened, thinking, oh my gosh, first I looked for my father. I didn't know if he had died or something, but my mother was just screaming and crying. And I said, what is the matter? What is the matter? And she looked up from the floor at me and she said, no more lies. And I said, what? And she says, you're an effing queer. And at that point, Karen stepped from around the corner, and I knew that the truth was out, and she had chosen to out me to my parents. Well, obviously, my mother and father weren't pleased with this at all. My father was always, though, very kind and loving and understanding and loving me, but it devastated my mother. Even though all this time in the past she abused me and called me names, now that the truth had actually come out that this was something that I was embracing, she hated it. So the first thing they did was they took me to a Catholic priest to see what he could do. And the basic advice given from the priest was, it's a phase, it's a rebellion, don't worry about it, it's all right, it's not a big deal. And I decided to accept it myself and completely, totally came out of the closet at that point. You know, I had embraced the new music of the day, which was new wave and punk rock that had, you know, infiltrated MTV now, and everyone was listening to that. And my image started to change somewhat, and my hair kind of got a little crazy, and I would wear a little eyeliner now and then. I remember one day at dinner, we were sitting down at the dinner table, and we were having dinner, and no one was speaking, and my mother was angry for some reason. We'd done something wrong to make her angry, and she looked up at me and she said, you want to be a woman? She goes, look at you. You got makeup on. Look at your hair. You want to be a woman? She goes, then you're going to be a woman. And she went to a room and she got out a bra. She brought it to the dinner table and she put the bra on me and made me sit at the dinner table. I'm 18 years old now. And she made me wear a bra at the dinner table. And it was finally more than I could take. And I snapped. And I got up from the table and threw my plate across the room. And I ran out of the house, you know, just in absolute humiliation and shock. And was later found by my sister. And just more damage upon damage upon damage was being done to me mentally and psychologically. So in the nighttime, I would prowl the streets and found several nightclubs and gay bars that I would start to attend. And there was this one in Ybor City called El Goya. It was a multi-level, giant gay bar, and it was the very first gay bar that I had actually gone to. And I remember the first time that a man approached me, and that feeling of being accepted by another man is something that I'd never felt before, was all of a sudden being met. So I embraced this lifestyle with both arms and just sunk completely deeply into the gay lifestyle. And I became obsessed with the royalty of the gay community, and that would be drag queens.
Strike the pose.
Having an artistic nature myself and being involved in loving rock music and the theatrics of it, the fact that these men would go backstage and with just makeup and wigs transform themselves into a complete another creature fascinated me. And in the gay community, these people are held up as icons and superstars. Drag queens are the absolute epitome of stardom in the gay community, and I became obsessed with them. I also became obsessed with another subculture in the gay community, and that was the leather and S&M community, which we don't really need to go into a whole lot of detail here, but there was a lot of deviant, bizarre, sexual behavior going on my part, and at the same time being infatuated with drag queens.